So far, I've ranked just about every fight from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Now, it's time to rank the series with some of the best choreographed and hard-hitting fights in the franchise's history, as well as some of the most gag-worthy comedic brawls. Today, I'm ranking every Dragon Ball fight from Z tier to F tier, excluding filler and training/sparring fights. Kicking off the list is Goku's first real fight in the series against the Bear Thief, a brief but meaningful clash that perfectly establishes Goku's character. Lasting barely 30 seconds, this skirmish won't be winning awards for complex choreography. However, it succinctly showcases Goku's innocent, protective nature as he defends his new turtle friend Umagami from being eaten. Despite his youth, Goku displays immense bravery in confronting the larger foe, foreshadowing his vast potential. With a single attack, he defeats the bear, sending the message that this child is far from helpless. While the brevity and simplicity of this scuffle limit its ranking, it accomplishes its narrative goal of introducing an iconic protagonist. This fight quickly sets the tone and gives viewers a taste of action in the episode, but looking at the fight as a whole, I can't put it higher than D tier. Up next is Goku's comedic clash with Yamcha, highlighting the early Dragon Ball's blend of action and humor. Their fight starts strong as Goku lands a power pole hit, only for Yamcha to counter with his signature Wolf Fang fist, sending Goku flying. Goku bounces back and gains an edge by comically poking Yamcha's eye and slapping him silly. The hilarious reveal that Yamcha gets nervous around girls ends the battle abruptly. While not a technical masterclass, this fight entertains by showcasing Goku's resilience and introducing fan-favorite Yamcha in dim-witted yet lovable form. The contrast between Yamcha's initial intimidating appearance and sudden bashful retreat from Bulma is priceless. This humorous skirmish demonstrates Dragon Ball's skill for surprises and laughter between hard-hitting action. The battle isn't anything crazy, but it's a step up from the first fight, and it introduces a classic character like Yamcha. Because of this, it secures a spot in C tier. Goku and Yamcha face off again in a rematch that ups the ante while still delivering laughs. This time, with a full stomach, Goku is revitalized and ready to brawl. The two exchange blows in a faster-paced skirmish that shows off some decent martial arts choreography. While still played for comedy, the fight takes on a more competitive tone. Ultimately, Goku lands a painful blow that knocks out one of Yamcha's teeth, leaving the Desert Bandit humiliated. Despite its brevity, this second round allows both fighters to demonstrate improved skills. This fight is shorter than the first, however, so I'll put it in D tier. Before progressing further, it's important to note that none of these initial Dragon Ball fights are bad. They just fall short in comparison to the spectacle that comes later. At this early stage, the battles are intentionally short and comedic, aimed more at introducing characters than displaying intense martial arts. These brief, humorous scuffles have their charm, effectively establishing the lighthearted, adventurous tone of early Dragon Ball. However, stacked against the lengthier, more visually thrilling and narratively significant fights later in Dragon Ball, these early skirmishes fail to rank highly on a comprehensive list. Goku and Yamcha unite for the first time against a common foe, the shape-shifting Rabbit Mob. After comically transforming Bulma into a carrot, the rabbits face the wrath of our heroes. What ensues is a wacky fight filled with gags as the gang frantically evade the rabbits' transforming touch. Their madcap attempts to rescue Bulma without getting turned into produce themselves make for some hilarious moments. The fight reaches a ridiculous climax as Goku launches the entire mob comedically into space. Considering how many times the moon gets destroyed later in the series, those rabbits definitely aren't doing okay. While the stakes are low, the sheer absurdity of this fight earns it a spot in C tier. Goku and Krillin face off in a fight to retrieve a rock for Master Roshi. Krillin tries to trick Goku at first, prompting Goku to stop and challenge him. The fight starts off with Krillin throwing a few kicks and punches, all of which Goku blocks effortlessly. The action then becomes comedically exaggerated with a cartoonish dust cloud obscuring the fighters as random limbs periodically fly out. Goku emerges victorious, but Krillin tricks him again by throwing a fake rock and keeping the real one. While this fight adds some humor, it lacks any impressive combat. The silly, low-stakes nature of the fight makes it deserving of a low F-tier ranking. Now that the 21st Martial Arts Tournament has started, and the first on the list is Goku versus another contestant in the elimination round, Goku's first matchup demonstrates the fruit of his intense training under Master Roshi. His opponent is a giant of a man, towering over young Goku. This mismatch sets the stage for Goku to showcase his new skills. With blinding speed, Goku zips behind the lumbering fighter before he can even react. The bewildered brute thinks he has smashed Goku, only for Goku to reveal himself unharmed, which sets up this part. This eye-popping display of agility and strength underscores how far Goku has come under Roshi's tutelage. While the fight itself contains no memorable exchanges, it provides important narrative context. Goku's progression illustrates Roshi's unorthodox but effective training methods. This matchup also gives more meaning to Roshi's mindset throughout this saga. The stakes are low, but the fight accomplishes the goal of establishing Goku's growth. Given the narrative significance, despite the straightforward action, this short clash earns a ranking in D tier. The next fight is between Krillin and this guy from Orin Temple. Before the match, Krillin's old buddies try to intimidate him about facing their brute of a compatriot. However, Krillin has grown exponentially under Master Roshi's training since his days of being bullied. As his opponent throws a punch, Krillin smoothly dodges it and counters with a lightning-fast strike that sends the guy flying out of the ring. This was very satisfying, and it's always great to see Krillin get some shine. I did enjoy this fight more than the previous one, but I'll still put it in D tier. Now, Yamcha's brief tournament bout disappoints compared to Goku and Krillin's preceding fights. Yamcha's overconfident opponent allows him one free shot, mocking that it won't hurt him. Yamcha casually obliges with a single kick that immediately knocks the fool out cold. While seeing the arrogant fighter get his comeuppance is mildly amusing, the fight lacks any meaningful action or development. I'll place it in F tier. The fight between Krillin and Bacterian kicks off the World Martial Arts Tournament in classic Dragon Ball style. Bacterian's signature move is to gross out his opponents with his filthy stench and dirty fighting tactics. He immediately unleashes his stink on Krillin, then digs in his pants for another attack. I don't know if I'm allowed to fully say what he does here, but for anyone who's seen this fight knows what I'm talking about and how crazy this attack was. Old Dragon Ball was really something else at this point, but after this, Bacterian strangles Krillin, which is bad on its own, but being grabbed by this guy might be worse. At this point, Krillin just gets tortured by this guy. It seems like Krillin might lose this, but Goku tells him this.
Krillin, hey! Focus your mind and you won't smell him! Just think about it! You don't have a nose, remember?
This is actually hilarious. Starting from Dragon Ball Z, I always wondered why Krillin didn't have a nose, but everyone else did, so I thought it was just a comedic design choice, but for it to be brought up in the actual series, something I don't think I've seen in any other show, was really surprising and funny. Goku's comment gives Krillin a renewed resolve. He shakes off the stench-induced beating and manages to defeat Bacterian. It does make you wonder how Krillin could smell Bacterian in the first place. In any case, this dirty fight was highly entertaining and a great way to kick off the tournament. The combination of humor and action captures the spirit of early Dragon Ball perfectly. I'd rank this a solid B-tier fight. The fight between Jackie Chun and Yamcha serves as an important narrative purpose, establishing the pecking order for the World Martial Arts Tournament. Yamcha goes all out, but can't seem to land a single hit on the mysterious Jackie Chun. Goku and Krillin spectate and acknowledge that despite losing, Yamcha is a skilled fighter. This implies that Krillin, Goku, and Yamcha are relatively close in power and skill. However, Jackie Chun easily defeats Yamcha with one swift move. This clearly demonstrates to the audience just how strong Jackie Chun really is. Goku and Krillin have a massive obstacle to overcome if they want to win the tournament. The fight enhances the tension and sets up Jackie as a formidable opponent. While not as entertaining as the previous Krillin vs Bacterian bout, this short fight succeeds in its narrative goal. I'd rank it C tier. It's a solid establishing fight to progress the plot. The third fight in the tournament is between Nam vs Ranfan. There's not much to say about this fight besides it being pretty funny at times. Nam is a polite martial artist who refuses to strike a woman. Ranfan uses his hesitation to her advantage, employing teasing tactics to catch him off guard. At one point, she nearly defeats Nam by stripping to distract him. But the stakes are high for Nam, who needs the prize money to buy water for his drought-stricken village. He steals his resolve and finally knocks out Ranfan. While it elicits some laughs, the fight is mostly forgettable in my opinion. Nam is a great character, but the dynamic here results in a mediocre battle. I'd rank this in D tier. The hype was high for the clash between Goku and Giran. Their trash talk and tense encounters built up anticipation for an epic fight. The battle starts strong with Giran tricking Goku and landing a hard hit, but Goku bounces back and sends Giran flying out of the ring, only for Giran to fly back in with his wings. Giran then traps Goku in a gum-like substance and hurls him out of bounds. In a questionable move, Goku calls for the flying Nimbus to save him. In my opinion, this was cheating, but just when it seems Goku will lose, he regrows his tail and breaks free of the trap. This causes Giran to surrender in fear. For all the pre-fight build-up, the actual battle was a letdown. I expected better from these rivals based on their bad blood. In my opinion, if they were going with this ending, I feel like they shouldn't have added all that tension before the battle took place. Given the narrative expectations, I'd rank this a mediocre C-tier fight. The fight between Krillin and Jackie Chun is a highlight of the early tournament. Their clash is entertaining, but made truly hilarious by one of the best gags in early Dragon Ball. When Krillin and Jackie Chun freeze mid-fight for a dramatic pause, the action suddenly cuts to an exaggerated slow-motion replay. It reveals they actually stop to spit, blow their noses, play rock, paper, scissors, and more, all while supposedly clashing mid-air. This comedic attention to detail during a serious fight is a signature slapstick Dragon Ball moment. Beyond the laughs, it's a competitive bout. Krillin nearly eliminates Jackie Chun, but the master fires a Kamehameha to blast himself back into the ring. Jackie Chun ultimately wins by knocking Krillin out of bounds. The blend of humor, energy, and back-and-forth action makes this an A-tier fight in my book. Krillin and Jackie Chun's creative techniques and goofy mid-fight antics encapsulate the charm of the early Dragon Ball anime. Now, I personally thought the fight between Goku and Nam was an entertaining one. While the choreography is a bit outdated by today's standards, I still enjoyed watching the back and forth between the two fighters. Also, I already said I liked Nam's character up to this point, so I was excited to see how this fight would play out. They go at it, and once Nam strikes Goku as he's dizzy on the ground, everyone believes Goku lost, but he gets back up in classic Goku style and shows off some light trash talk.
It's a shame that I have to beat ya.
Oh, no, you're done.
It's nothing personal.
Once Goku makes it back down, he times his next attack perfectly, kicking Nam out of the ring for the win. Overall, it was a fun fight that showed off Goku's skills and Nam's character. I would rank this as a solid B-tier fight. Finally, the fight between Goku and Jackie Chun commences. This battle delivers on all fronts: narrative, comedy, action, and a twist ending. Beyond the entertainment value, it focuses more on Roshi, who's actually Jackie, trying to best his student Goku. Roshi admits Goku's rising skills throughout the tournament and admits he doesn't know if he can win, which is narratively the backbone of this fight. The first half shows Roshi utilizing various techniques and fighting styles to catch Goku off guard, but Goku adapts quickly and often outperforms his master. Roshi tries moves like the Kamehameha, after image technique, unpredictable martial arts, and even a sleeping trick, but Goku shrugs them all off. The fight continues evenly until Roshi uses his lightning flash attack, nearly besting Goku, but he ends up transforming into a great ape. The second half has giant ape Goku on a rampage, forcing Roshi to use his strongest move, a full power Kamehameha. Not realizing Goku's tail is the key, it looks like Roshi fires the blast at Goku before his friends can warn him, which seemingly kills Goku. But the blast destroys the moon instead, reverting Goku back to normal. Both drained, they exchange fierce hand-to-hand combat, and this is where we get the best choreography so far in the series in my opinion. After a while though, Roshi comes up with a plan. He capitalizes on his size advantage, striking a mutual blow but injuring Goku more. They collapse, but Roshi rises by a hair, winning the hard-fought match between master and student. This iconic battle capped off the first tournament in spectacular fashion, with humor, heart, and top-tier action, making this an easy Z-tier fight. Next is Goku vs Major Metallitron. This fight is okay in my opinion. It spans about an episode with the two fighters trading blows and going back and forth. Goku seems to defeat him several times over, but the android keeps getting back up, even continuing the fight without his head. For me, Metallitron being a tireless machine starts to feel repetitive. Ultimately, Goku is able to accumulate enough damage to finally deactivate him. This fight had some moderately entertaining moments, but it just suffers from it dragging on too long since I didn't really care about the android. I'll rank this fight in C tier. Now, this fight I did not enjoy. Goku vs Murasaki is entirely a gag fight, and although usually it works for me, this fight in my opinion felt like a waste. Murasaki takes the fight seriously, but Goku just jokes around, dragging things out without engaging in any real combat until the end. The clash of tones makes the fight feel like it drags on too long. While some fans may enjoy this fight, the lack of meaningful action made it a chore to get through on both the first viewing and rewatch. The fight concludes with Murasaki fleeing. I'll put this in D tier. The battle between Goku and Buyon is a fairly entertaining one. This fight consists largely of Goku testing different attacks. The clash builds suspense as he tries to discover Buyon's weakness. Goku finally recalls Suno's advice about the cold and hatches a plan, punching a hole in the wall to let in the cold air. Unable to withstand the temperature change, Buyon freezes and shatters into pieces. My question now is, does this count as a kill for Goku? Anyways, this fight was alright for me, so I'll put it in C tier. The fight between Goku and General White starts off with Goku winning easily. He even says this,
Hey, that tickles, stop it! Maybe you should exercise.
When I heard him say this, I immediately thought about the panel with Goku asking Moro if he ever trained. But White soon gains the upper hand by grabbing Goku's tail, sapping him of his strength. He takes advantage of this, but Goku gets back up and gets serious. Goku goes crazy on White with punches and kicks, leading to his defeat. At the cusp of victory, Goku almost ends the general here until...
But if you give in to your anger, you'll be no different than he is.
This is a key character moment for Goku, demonstrating his growth in both mercy and his warrior philosophy going forward. But the fight stops for a while until the general takes the chief hostage. He shoots Goku, leaving Ader to finish him. The fight concludes in a wholesome moment between Ader and Goku that I really enjoyed. This fight excels by not dragging out the fight, yet delivering entertaining moments that capture Dragon Ball's essence. I'll rank this fight in the B tier. The next fight pits the gang up against a robot pirate, which honestly made me think about how the series has gone from fighting odd characters like this to the villains in Z. But this fight starts off strong, with both Goku and Krillin unleashing a barrage of attacks but do no damage. After the attacks don't work, Goku winds up running up this ledge for honestly a little bit too long, but this gives time for Bulma and Krillin to line up a shot on him. Their plan backfires, and the robot tosses Goku away when he tries to help. Bulma cleverly drives a truck into the robot, knocking it into the water. After a while, the robot grabs Goku and electrocutes him until he's knocked out. Krillin and Bulma flee until Goku recovers and destroys the robot with an aerial attack. I don't really have anything bad to say about this fight, and to be honest, I think I came out enjoying it slightly more than I did on my first watch. I think it does everything pretty good, and I like seeing the dynamic between the characters, so I'll put this fight in B tier. The fight between Goku and this octopus feels largely pointless, as it interrupts the main narrative involving Krillin and Bulma. I'm not going to waste time on this fight. F tier. The fight between General Blue and the gang kicks off with Krillin taking on the villain first. Just as Krillin draws blood, Blue uses a paralyzing technique to freeze him in place. I was rooting for Krillin, but they sidelined him quickly. However, it does give us this awesome moment when Goku finally shows up.
Goku, yes! You made it! Krillin, are you okay?
Now, Goku's mad, and their battle truly commences amidst the crumbling ruins. I think the animators had fun on this part because the choreography really impresses with fluid motions and dynamic camera work. Goku initially dominates the fight until falling victim to Blue's immobilizing stare. Lucky enough, a rat comes around scaring the general and saving Goku. Goku retaliates by poking Blue's eye, then finishes him off with one final blow. By the end of the fight, Goku recovers the Dragon Ball and of course saves the rat that saved him, all before the whole place crashes down. This fight entertains on multiple levels: humor, lively action, and stakes. Krillin's premature loss builds tension for Goku's arrival, and the back-and-forth struggle keeps things exciting. For these reasons, A tier is a fitting spot for this fight in my opinion. Now, with General Blue escaping the ruins, he goes against Mercenary Tao. This fight is short, but it sets up how strong Tao really is. Despite Blue's earlier success against Goku, none of his attacks managed to hurt the lethal Tao. Blue's paralyzing technique, which had easily immobilized both Krillin and Goku earlier, shockingly has no effect on Tao. He ends up defeating Blue with one tongue strike to his head, an attack that's both weird but also cool. I'll rank this introductory battle C tier since it efficiently establishes the new adversary.
Here, have your spear.
This fight carries emotional weight after the death of Appa's father at Tao's hands. Their murder fuels Goku's anger as he engages the ruthless Tao. This battle immediately stands out because Goku finally meets an opponent he cannot easily overpower for the first time. None of Goku's attacks touches Tao, heightening the tension. Goku launches a Kamehameha, but it only shreds Tao's outfit. In contrast, Tao's Dodon Ray is precise and lethal, seemingly killing Goku in one blast. This impactful sequence elevates the stakes dramatically. Tao's cold-blooded killings, followed by a swift takedown of Goku, establish him as a threatening new adversary. I found this fight compelling for showcasing our hero's limitations against a superior foe, while also delivering emotional storytelling with the death that motivated Goku. For these reasons, I consider it a B-tier fight. After Tao returns seeking the Dragon Ball, his rematch with the now trained Goku goes very differently. Goku's intensive training with Korin has clearly elevated his speed and strength, as he easily dominates Tao. Their roles are now reversed, with a helpless Tao unable to land attacks on Goku. To turn the tables, Tao desperately climbs Korin's tower, but is no match for Goku upon returning. Goku allows Tao to get some hits on him, but Goku then unleashes a series of combos. With the tables turned, a panicked Tao tries to bomb Goku, but Goku counters the blast back onto Tao for a fitting end. This satisfying role reversal concluded Tao's threat while showcasing Goku's increasing skill. I found this rematch an upgrade over their intense first fight, clearly demonstrating Goku's training with Korin. I'll put this fight in A tier. Goku storming the Red Ribbon Army base provides immense satisfaction as he goes through their ranks to reclaim the Dragon Balls. He outmaneuvers and defeats assassins and bruisers alike. And to make this even sweeter is when he comes back to the group and this interaction happens.
I beat the whole bunch and I managed to get 6 of the Dragon Balls. You mean you beat every single soldier in the Red Ribbon Army?
This was a great moment, and I was anticipating this battle for a while upon my first watch. For this thrilling victory and a satisfying payoff, this multi-part confrontation earns an A tier as a standout moment. Now, for the fights at Fortuneteller Baba's arena, I'm gonna speed past some of these. The fight with this Dracula character wasn't my favorite. It sidelines Krillin quickly, then Upa and Poir get the win. I'll rank this fight in D tier. Next fight is between Yamcha and the Invisible Guy. Most of the fight, Yamcha is getting beat, but with the help of Krillin, Roshi, and Bulma, Yamcha is able to get the win since the Invisible Guy is now covered in Roshi's blood. I'm sure you could put the pieces together on how that happened. The fight is slightly better than the fight against Dracula, so I'll put it in C tier. Yamcha's bout with the Mummy proves surprisingly challenging for him. The Mummy's unique style of evasiveness and speed puts Yamcha on the aback foot, leading to him getting tossed around the arena helplessly. I honestly felt bad for Yamcha as he was clearly out of his element. This fight might be the most brutal fight so far in the series. I think this fight deserves a spot in B tier. Now, it's Goku's turn to take on the Mummy. This fight to me isn't as enjoyable as Yamcha's was. The fight mostly consists of Goku struggling to get out of the Mummy's bandages, but once he does, Goku walks up to the guy and knocks him out with one punch. To me, it felt sort of anticlimactic. I'll rank it in the C tier. Next, Goku faces off against Devilman in a light-hearted battle. As expected, Goku easily gains the upper hand with his superior speed and strength. This prompts Devilman to unleash his Devil Might Beam, which is supposed to kill anyone with evil inside. Amusingly, the attack fails against the pure-hearted Goku. After a while, the fight resumes, and Goku continues to outmatch Devilman until finally kicking his opponent into the arena wall for a knockout. While the Devil Might Beam creates an entertaining and fitting moment for Goku, the rest of the fight is a standard demonstration of Goku's abilities against an overmatched foe. I'd rank this short, predictable bout at C tier. The Mystery Man battle starts with familiar foreshadowing, as Goku senses something recognizable in his opponent's style. Their fight showcases crisp choreography as they trade blows and Kamehameha waves. The man grabs Goku's tail and slams him around until it detaches, but he then forfeits, revealing his identity, Goku's late grandfather, Gohan. Their poignant reunion scene is heart-wrenching, with Goku overjoyed to see his grandfather again.
Is that you, Grandpa? Yes, it is you! Grandpa! Grandpa!
That's right. It's me, my boy. It's me.
Where have you been? I thought you...
This scene honestly hits very hard. Seeing a young Goku cry about his first father figure he's ever had, while Gohan seeing how much Goku has grown, is very emotional. What's amazing is that Dragon Ball Super nostalgically recreates part of their fight too, showcasing how much Goku cared for Gohan even throughout the years. For the emotional storytelling and characterization, I gotta rank this in the Z tier. Beyond the surprise ending, it's a moving celebration of student and master reuniting. Goku's clashes with Pilaf's gang over the last Dragon Ball, but it's mostly a gag fight. Inside a robot mech, the Pilaf trio are no match for Goku's skills. Their mechanical foe provides some humor as Goku scrambles to damage it, but the stakes feel low. Ultimately, Goku prevails easily, claiming the Dragon Ball and some new clothes too. It's a forgettable fight, so I'll place it in D tier. Now, we get to the 22nd martial arts tournament, but first we gotta go through the preliminaries. Yamcha goes first in the preliminaries, and he one-shots his opponent. There's nothing special about this fight, as we all know Yamcha was going to win. F tier. Next is Krillin's fight, and it's basically the same as Yamcha's, for the most part, although it did have one comedic scene. I'll still place this in F tier. Now it's Tien's turn, and honestly, I don't know if he attacked with his eye or if he moved so fast we barely see it, but whatever it was kinda cool. But much like the other two fights, it was a one-hit knockout, and I don't think anyone thought Tien was going to lose to this guy. F tier. Goku's battle against the World Martial Arts Tournament's mighty contender marked an upgrade from the competition's earlier rounds. As the fight commenced, Goku effortlessly dominated. However, the match's most shocking moment occurred when Goku took to the air to evade an attack. Roshi warned that staying airborne was unwise against this opponent. Expecting the worst, I watched in awe as Goku ingeniously blew a gust of air to halt his momentum and gently float, just before his rival could strike. With a swift kick, Goku knocked his rival out of bounds for the win. This clever mid-air maneuver exemplified Goku's growth during the time skip training and genuinely shocked me. While not the most epic clash, this fight highlighted Goku's increasing skill. I'd rank it as a solid C-tier brawl. Now, Roshi steps up next, and he's deep in thought about if he could overcome Goku as he once did in the previous tournament. His opponent grows impatient as Roshi is just standing there and charges at him. Roshi envisions his opponent as Goku and knocks him out with a few strikes. I'll put this in F tier. The first round face-off between Yamcha and Tien stands as an overlooked gem in the tournament's early battles. This clash, exemplifying Yamcha's combat prowess, might be his best performance in the entire franchise. Before the fight, we see glimpses of the growing tension between Tien, Yamcha, and the rest of the Turtle Hermit students, so once this fight commences, you can feel the weight of every blow. The choreography is also crazy in this fight, and the witty banter between the two I absolutely love. Both unleash special techniques, but Tien ultimately triumphed by knocking Yamcha out cold. His unnecessary breaking of Yamcha's leg afterward furthers the animosity between the Crane and the Turtle students. For an electrifying blend of martial arts action, drama, and characterization, Yamcha vs. Tien deserves recognition among the best fights in the tournament. The masterful display rightly earns a Z-tier ranking, and I highly recommend revisiting this overlooked classic. Roshi's duel with the Man-Wolf delivered a comedic callback to the first World Tournament. With no moon in the sky, the Lupin fighter remained trapped in his wolf form. This inspired his revenge against the Turtle Hermit. However, Roshi effortlessly dominates this one-sided brawl, toying with his opponent. The highlight came when Roshi cleverly used a bone to lead the hapless Man-Wolf out of bounds. This fight isn't anything notable, but it has some comedic moments and a great callback to the first tournament. I'll put it in C tier. Krillin vs. Chiaotzu made for an interesting but entertaining duel. Chiaotzu's tedious tactic of floating and spamming Dodon rays slowed the pace early on. However, Krillin unleashed his first electric Kamehameha blast, lighting up the match. The clever counting joke that caused Chiaotzu's downfall was a solid way for Krillin to win. But beneath the humor, tensions escalated dramatically when Goku's slaying of mercenary Tao was revealed to the Crane School. This raised their thirst for revenge. While the fight itself was unbalanced, Krillin's Kamehameha debut and the pivotal narrative revelation of Goku defeating Tao elevated this bout. For its humor and story impact, Krillin vs. Chiaotzu earns a solid B-tier ranking. Goku vs. Pamput is next, and Goku just beats him with one attack. There's not much else to talk about with this one. F tier. This masterclass duel between Tien and Roshi exemplified high-level martial arts. To me, it felt like two masters going at it. The fierce back and forth showcased slick choreography and devastating techniques, much like Tien's earlier bout with Yamcha. The momentum shifted when Roshi attempted to sway Tien from Crane School's merciless ways. This provoked Tien's electrifying Kamehameha wave, probably the best so far in the series. Though Roshi deflected it, the wise teacher then voluntarily stepped out of bounds. Roshi's shocking concession deeply rattled Tien, planting seeds of doubt about his cruel methods. This pivotal conflict started Tien's redemption arc. For the dazzling moves, gripping drama, and characterization, Tien vs. Roshi stands out as a Z-tier fight.
Promise me that when we get in the ring, you'll fight me like an opponent and not as a friend.
Goku vs. Krillin stands as one of Dragon Ball's most satisfying showdowns and a personal favorite. Watching these two friends turned rivals, unleashing their full power, made for a thrillingly intense clash. The fluid choreography and escalating action reached new heights, representing the pinnacle of both fighters' progression. Krillin held his own until Goku unlocked unbelievable speed. moving too swiftly to be seen. This electrifying display of Goku's unmatched agility allows him to finally knock Krillin out of the ring. Krillin proved himself a worthy opponent, pushing Goku further than ever before. We also discovered Goku has overcome his tail's former weakness. This fight contained it all: skill, drama, humor, and beautiful choreography moments. For sheer enjoyment from start to finish, Goku vs. Krillin earns top marks. The breathtaking action and characterization cement this battle as an all-time Z-tier classic. The epic final clash between Goku and Tien brought the 22nd World Tournament to an electrifying close. As the battle commenced, Tien initially seized the upper hand, pressing a struggling Goku. But once Goku uses his full power, the fight shifts into overdrive. The choreography and devastating techniques reach greater heights with each attack. However, the match took a controversial turn when Master Shen secretly ordered Chiaotzu to paralyze Goku with his telekinetic grip. The cheap tactic outraged Tien, who had wanted to win fair. After Master Roshi sent Shen flying, Tien let Goku take free hits to atone for the free attacks he had gotten on Goku. Renewing their duel, Tien unleashed his forearm technique against Goku's onslaught. The two countered blow for blow until Tien attempted to eliminate the ring itself with his tri-beam, sacrificing the arena to drive Goku out of bounds. Goku ingeniously rocketed himself at Tien using a Kamehameha, knocking them both skyward. Their suspenseful descent to Earth climaxed with Goku hitting the ground an instant before Tien. Despite the controversial finish, the crowd roared for both fighters. Tien had finally earned their respect by rejecting his dark past and fighting honorably. With escalating action, drama, redemption, and suspense, this Z-tier battle marked the pinnacle of the tournament while showcasing martial arts at its finest. Goku's rage-fueled duel with Tambourine made for a painfully one-sided affair. Still grieving Krillin's murder, an enraged Goku rushed heedlessly into combat. However, Tambourine completely outclassed him. The vile villain battered and brutalized Goku with minimal effort. Their vast power gap was clear as Tambourine mocked and tortured Goku before leaving him for dead. Goku experienced firsthand the cold cruelty of this new enemy. Tambourine's creepy sadism also cemented him as a chilling antagonist. For introducing a dangerous new villain and setting Goku on a revenge arc, this impactful first clash earns a B tier. After meeting Yajirobe, Goku encountered another of King Piccolo's monstrous spawn. To everyone's shock, the unassuming Yajirobe quickly sliced the demon in half, just like Trunks did to Frieza. I'll put this fight in C tier just for the fact that Yajirobe was able to do that. Yamcha vs. Tambourine is next, and it's just a short fight, with them going back and forth a bit until Tambourine is summoned by Piccolo, forcing him to leave and sparing Yamcha. I'll put this in D tier. Goku finally got his revenge in a cathartic rematch against the villainous Tambourine. Once Goku had eaten, Tambourine could no longer dominate him with ease. Goku ruthlessly dismantled the demon, seizing the upper hand early on. The brief but satisfying brawl culminated with Tambourine's destruction by Goku's Kamehameha wave. While the choreography itself was straightforward, this fight provided closure to Goku's earlier defeat. Beyond its narrative satisfaction, this lopsided beatdown isn't anything to write home about. But the fact Goku got his revenge for Krillin earns it a spot in the C tier ranking. Now, it's King Piccolo's turn to get revenge, and he does just that. Their climactic battle proved intensely one-sided, with Piccolo dominating and overwhelmed Goku. Try as he might, none of Goku's techniques impacted the Demon King. Piccolo shredded through Goku's arsenal, relentlessly attacking while shrugging off even the Kamehameha. The brutal beating exemplifies Piccolo's terrifying power, and in the end, Goku is left seemingly dead. Completing his vengeance, Piccolo takes the Dragon Ball and leaves. While entirely one-sided, this fight meaningfully progressed the narrative by establishing King Piccolo as a new tier of villain. His demolition of Goku made the stakes feel more dire. For its story impact, I give this lopsided fight a B-tier ranking. Now, it may not be considered a battle, but I have to talk about Master Roshi going up against King Piccolo. Roshi faced the Demon King with no fear, only unwavering resolve. Knowing the stakes, Roshi sacrificed himself in a desperate attempt to trap Piccolo once again. This solemn act of courage definitely left an impact on me while I was watching it. Not only did Roshi die, but Chiaotzu and Shenron did too. In the aftermath, a devastated Tien could hardly process his new mentor's death. I'm not gonna lie, this was one of the saddest moments in the series for me. The battle between the doppelganger, Master Roshi, and Goku was brief but unsettling. Roshi's duplicate hurled boulders at Goku as the two exchanged blows. Ultimately, Roshi does disappear, while Goku was left precariously hanging off a cliff, barely able to hold himself and Yajirobe up. The fight culminates in Goku getting the sacred liquid, making him strong enough to challenge Piccolo again. Though short-lived, the eerie fight and the reward at the end makes it a memorable C-tier skirmish. Now, the climactic battle against Piccolo commences. The first part consists of Tien and another one of Piccolo's minions fighting toe-to-toe in a brutal match. It concludes with Tien attempting but failing to seal his opponent away with the Mafuba technique, leaving him lying helpless on the ground. That's until Goku shows up just in the nick of time, like he always does. Nah, Goku looks cold here, but he makes short work of Piccolo's henchmen before the main event, his showdown with Piccolo himself. Their fight is intense, with crisp choreography, tone, and high stakes. In the first half, Goku dominates with his newfound power. Piccolo then decides to use his full strength, attacking Goku into the ground. But Goku rises back up with an innovative moving Kamehameha, the first time this technique has been manipulated mid-flight. The two trade devastating blows until Piccolo cripples Goku's leg, severely hindering his mobility. Sensing victory, Piccolo creates a massive explosion, the biggest destruction yet seen. Tien manages to save Goku, but a desperate Piccolo grabs Tien, stopping Goku's attacks. He uses this chance to disable Goku's remaining limbs. Piccolo flies up into the air to finish off Goku, but here is where we get one of the most satisfying conclusions to a fight.
I still have one arm left that I can use! I'm coming at you with everything I've got!
This thrilling back and forth concludes with one of my favorite finishes, cementing the battle as an epic Z-tier fight. With Goku now grown up and the gang reunited, the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament begins. Goku's first preliminary match is against King Chappa, providing an opportunity to showcase Goku's growth under 3 years of intense training under Kami. While brief, the fight illustrates how far Goku has come. No longer the monkey-tailed boy, Goku enters with a serious, focused demeanor. Goku goes on to defeating King Chappa with a single strike, abruptly ending the short-lived match. The fight is cool narratively, so it earns a spot in C-tier. The comedic fight between Yajirobe and the clumsy opponent initially felt disappointing when I first watched it. I was rooting for Yajirobe, so seeing him lose by an accidental headbutt from his bumbling opponent felt unsatisfying. Obviously, it's explained why he lost later, but before I still didn't like it. However, in hindsight, I can appreciate what the show was going for. The comedic defeat of Yajirobe helped characterize his opponent as harmless and incompetent, setting up the later reveal that this was all a deception. While it wasn't at all my favorite fight, I can acknowledge the purpose it served in the storytelling of the show. I'll put it in D tier. The first match of the World Martial Arts Tournament delivers an immensely satisfying showdown between Tien and his former Master Tao. Their battle is fought with emotion and symbolic justice. Tien clearly overwhelms Tao, but out of lingering respect, hesitates to decisively finish him off. This only enrages Tao, who lashes out by scaring Tien, leaving a permanent mark. When Tao desperately launches his massive Dodon Ray as a last resort, Tien's yell deflects the blast, making it a powerful moment, representing his surpassing of his abusive former master. Tien decisively eliminates Tao without compromising his own honor, providing closure on their troubled relationship. The fight combines great drama with emotional weight. Seeing the arrogant Tao finally humbled exemplifies Tien's atonement of his past and his character development. I would rank this as a solid A-tier fight. The fight between Goku and Chi-Chi is a lighthearted and wholesome bout. Goku fails to recognize Chi-Chi, though she clearly knows him. Their battle is very one-sided, as Goku casually knocks Chi-Chi out of the ring. But when Chi-Chi reveals her identity, Goku proposes to her, not fully understanding what it means.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Goku has proposed to Anonymous, or Chi-Chi. I've seen fighters join forces before, but nothing like this.
Their humorous back and forth as Goku tries to understand why Chi-Chi is so mad is very funny, and captures Goku's innocent naivete. Overall, this short but sweet fight provides a nice change of pace from the tense matches before and after. The chemistry between Goku and Chi-Chi is delightful, even though Goku is oblivious to Chi-Chi's feelings. I'd rank in B tier for its humor and heartwarming moments between the two characters. The fight between Krillin and Piccolo commences, and it starts off with Krillin impressively opening with some clever new techniques, proving his training hasn't been in vain. However, Piccolo quickly overwhelms him once he gets serious. Krillin's determination shines through in this fight as he shakily gets back to his feet, refusing to give up. His last-ditch Kamehameha was a nice try, but ultimately realizing the futility, Krillin maturely surrenders, highlighting how far he's come since the arrogant novice in early Dragon Ball. While mostly one-sided, the fight underscores Krillin's courage and development. Seeing him hold his own even briefly against the formidable Piccolo is a testament to his skill. Krillin, leaving with dignity and wisdom, shows qualities that make him a true martial artist. I'd rank this fight in B tier. The next fight between Yamcha and Hero commences, and they do boy Yamcha dirty in this matchup. Right from the start, Yamcha suffers embarrassing mishaps, like getting kicked in an accident. However, the twist is that Hero is no amateur. He fights Yamcha with legitimate martial arts skills. Despite being put on the back foot, Yamcha rallies with his new Spirit Ball technique. It lands a clean hit, but isn't enough to best Hero. The fight blends humor with solid choreography, especially when Hero reveals his true prowess. While disheartening to see Yamcha caught off guard, the fight succeeds in its comedic aims while portraying both fighters as competent. I'd rank this fight in B tier as well. The heavily anticipated rematch between Goku and Tien features back-and-forth action showcasing their growth. Tien initially leverages his superior speed, knocking Goku down, but Goku turns the tide by removing his weighted clothes and outmatching Tien's quickness. Tien adapts with his clever four-way duplication technique, surrounding Goku with clones. The coordination of his clones puts Goku on the defensive until he deducts the technique's weakness and defeats all four Tiens in rapid succession. Both fighters display smart battle techniques and progression of their skills. The escalating energy and excitement as Goku and Tien match each other's blows makes for a gripping watch. Tien's innovative cloning strategy generates real drama before Goku overcomes the odds. I'd rank this fight solidly in A tier. The fight between Piccolo and Hero starts as an intense back-and-forth duel, with neither gaining a clear upper hand. However, Piccolo soon recognizes the hero's true identity, Kami. With the element of surprise gone, Kami attempts the evil containment wave seal. Unfortunately for Kami, Piccolo cleverly reverses the technique back onto him, encapsulating Kami inside the jar. While the fight itself was relatively short, the stakes feel enormous, as Piccolo outwits and defeats Earth's Guardian. The fight succinctly sets up Piccolo as Goku's final challenge in the tournament. I would rank this in B tier for its narrative significance, despite limited action. The stage is set for an epic showdown with the fate of Earth hanging in the balance. Goku faces off against Piccolo in the climactic finals. For this fight, I'll let the edit do most of the talking.
One way or another, I must find a way to stop him!
The final climactic showdown between Goku and Piccolo stands as one of the greatest fights in the series. The choreography is spectacular, with frenzied hand-to-hand exchanges leading to devastating beams and blasts. Both fighters unleash innovative new techniques, like both the Super and Feet Kamehameha and Piccolo's Giantification. The drama and stakes are raised to immense heights, with nothing less than the fate of the world and the World Martial Arts Tournament title on the line. We feel Goku's desperation to win this fight, making his victory profoundly gratifying when it happens. I also wanted to note that I love the way Goku uses his Kamehameha to fly or go faster in certain moments as well. The fight builds to a satisfying crescendo with Goku's savage meteor combination, one of the most brutal attack sequences I've ever seen, before he swoops in, striking Piccolo for the win. This battle combines intensity, skill, ingenuity, and narrative payoff flawlessly. The fluid animation, thrilling action, and climactic significance rightfully cements this as one of Dragon Ball's greatest fights. It earns an easy Z tier ranking for delivering an exhilarating and unforgettable viewing experience. And with that, we've reached the end of this epic journey revisiting Dragon Ball's most spectacular fights. It's been a thrill to analyze and rank these iconic battles from one of anime's most legendary shows. I hope you enjoyed this retrospective as much as I did. If so, please subscribe and leave a like. Be sure to check out my other Ranking Dragon Ball Fight videos. See you there.